Problem solved. As soon as Miss Huang opened her mouth, the students were already moved. Her voice was small, and she was a little out of breath. It could be heard that she was trying hard and turning grief into strength. Miss Huang first introduced her son and daughter. My son is studying in Beijing, Peking University. My daughter is studying in Nanjing, Nanjing University. Miss Huang said she was proud of her children. When Miss Huang talked about her children, her voice was so soft and her expression was so gentle, overflowing with maternal love and concern. It makes people sad for no reason. The students were confused and didn't know why Miss Huang was talking about her family at this critical moment. However, the students immediately understood Miss Huang's good intentions from her conversation. There was an administrative meeting at the school last night. The meeting decided that the student who still refuses to repent must be expelled. Director Huang's eyes were red, and her eyes were as moist as fog. Miss Huang said firmly, "I can't agree." Miss Huang began to reminisce. She recalled the days when she was unfairly treated and the time when her son had a fever in the countryside. He had a fever of 40 degrees Celsius and suffered cramps. He had to be rescued for half an hour. She recalled her daughter, who was critically ill from food poisoning when she was 4 years old. These things are the pain in Miss Huang's heart, which is sad. Miss Huang cried. Miss Huang said to Director Qian, "How can a child not get sick? How can a child not make mistakes?" Director Qian was speechless. Miss Huang's words are like the spring breeze, like the spring rain, one by one, piece by piece, floating, pouring into the hearts of the students. The students lowered their heads, and everyone shed tears of regret. Miss Huang wiped away her heart and said, "I have made a request to the school's party branch, asking the school leaders to give me a last chance and give me 2 more days. I believe that the student who made the mistake will definitely renew and will take the initiative to admit his mistakes. He will definitely go to the post office and send me the money and belongings that do not belong to him. I am a mother and a party member. I guarantee you this. As both a mother and a party member, as long as you send it, it will be processed internally. Believe me, children, you must not take any chances. The public security officers have already taken fingerprints from Pang Fenghua's box. It will be clear to the Public Security Bureau who has touched Pang Fenghua's box. We know it clearly. Once the Public Security Bureau comes to arrest someone, it will be too late." Miss Huang was already in a hurry, crying again. "Believe me, children, this is the last chance. Don't make your mother sad anymore." Miss Huang was very affectionate. She choked on her words several times and almost cried. Her words warmed the hearts of the students, opened their eyes, and encouraged the Class 82-3 students. The results are immediate. On Monday morning, after the second class, the remittance orders arrived. However, Miss Huang took the remittance slips and looked at Director Qian, feeling troubled. This time, it was really difficult. According to the prior arrangement, it was originally very easy to accurately find the person who stole the money by comparing it with the remitter's handwriting on the remittance slip. However, who would have thought that 4 of them would be sent at once? No matter what, 20 yuan can be stolen as 80. The logic is untenable. Director Qian and Miss Huang still brought over the composition copy of Class 82-3 and found out that the remitters were Kong Zhaodi, Wang Yuyang, and Qiu Fenying. There was also one written with the left hand, which was not certain for the moment. Miss Huang slapped the 4 remittance slips on Director Qian's desk and said, "Look, who is this?" Director Qian smiled, sighed, and said, "Senior Huang, you have 20 years of political experience, both positive and negative. What's wrong with someone willing to admit their mistakes?" Miss Huang patted her left palm with the back of her right hand and said, "I'm talking about what to do with these 80 yuan. Director Qian put the remittance slip, whose handwriting was uncertain, in front of Director Huang and said, "Withdraw the money and give it back to Pang Fenghua." Miss Huang asked, "What about the other 3? Director Qian locked the other 3 in the drawer and said, "Put them here first." Miss Huang said, "It's 60 yuan, not a small number. Don't waste." Director Qian said, "How can it be wasted? It won't be wasted. How can it be wasted?" Miss Huang was a little confused and said carefully, "To do what?" Director Qian said, "You, little Huang, how can I talk about you? Some things should be rough rather than detailed. It's better to leave the problem where it is than to deal with it. That's it, huh? Don't mention it again. It's all over." The stolen money was returned, and everyone in the school was aware of this. Everyone sighed. "I didn't steal. It wasn't me." Is there a better ending than this? None. After relaxing, it is inevitable to wait and see. The students just want to see who stole it. But the result was disappointing. They waited for 4 or 5 days, but there was no discipline notice posted on the school's bulletin board. It seemed that it was really internally handled. Yuyang is grateful, and her inner joy can be described as surviving the disaster. Although grateful and relaxed, finally she was still wronged. What injustice! If this is not self-inflicted, what is it? But Yuyang took a step back and thought, what would happen if she didn't confess? People from the police station have already checked the fingerprints. If Yuyang had ever touched Pang Fenghua's box, Yuyang would be bottomless. She can't remember. Logically speaking, it is really inevitable since they are in the same dormitory. If the fingerprints happened to be those of Yuyang and it was announced, Yuyang's survivor would be dead. She can't afford this bet. The stakes are too high. Yuyang thought having done this was better since no one knew anyway. Let others guess what they think. It's always good to escape a disaster. Take a step back and get the sky bright. In any case, Yuyang had a calm sleep and felt really settled. It couldn't have ended better than this. But how come no one has talked to Yuyang until now? Is this called internal handling? It definitely is. It seems that the leaders are still trustworthy. Yuyang trusts them. Since the leaders are so lenient, you should stop being suspicious. Otherwise, who will you be worthy of?